Hi guys, it's Jana Eubank. Welcome to my channel. The other day I was hanging out in the Scrap Gals Facebook group and they were talking about scrapbook rooms. My friend Tracy Claiborne asked me to post links to photos of my scrapbook room. And I realized that the last time I'd taken any photos or posted anything about it online has been almost 2.5 to 3 years. So it's March 2017 now. The last time I've posted photos was in 2014. So my room is actually fairly clean right now, which is surprising, and I thought I'd take advantage of that and take you on a video tour of my space. This is the first time I've done a video tour, so I hope you enjoy seeing all the nooks and crannies. If this is the first time you've come across me, again, my name is Jana Eubank. I'm a scrapbooker. I have been scrapbooking for 20 years, like I said, but I also dabble in all different kinds of paper crafts. I love die cutting with my silhouette machine. I love card making. I love to do pocket style scrapbooking and journaling and planning. I do 3D paper projects like gift boxes and seasonal decor and home decor. So I kind of have supplies for all those different kinds of things. So if you do any of that, hope feels like to see the way I store my things. So the first thing I think I'll do is give you an overview of my space, and then we'll dive into each of the different sections of my room. I'll probably break this up into a few parts just because I think it's going to be kind of a long video. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. My office is located on the second story of our home, and the reason I chose this room when we built our home was because it's a west-facing room, and so I really love all the natural light that comes in through those doors. If I need to take pictures of projects, I just open those doors and place my projects on the floor right there, and that is where I take my pictures. So when you first walk into my room, you can see the door on the left right there. You have my desk space on the left side, and this is where I work for 99% of the time. This is where my computer is, this is where I scrapbook. And when we designed the cabinetry, I set it up so that all of my main tools and supplies would be right there in that space. Here's a look at the cabinetry from the doorway, the French doors, and I'm going to swing around and start showing you my space a little bit. I have this bank of drawers on the end of my desk that holds all of my main tools, as well as the caddy on top. Recently, I added some Recollections rolling cupboards underneath to just hold some current design team stuff. I used to store them in another part, but I like having them right by me as where I work. So that holds the latest collections, and then as the new things come in, I put those in storage and just keep rotating things out. I also put my latest purchases in there just so I can remember to use them right away. So let's take a look at this bank of drawers. We'll just go through them really quickly. I don't like a lot of visual clutter, but that's why I have so many cabinets in here, but you will see that my cupboards and my drawers are a bit cluttered. It's just my creative brain, I guess. And I've tried to streamline them a bit, but the way they are makes sense to me, so it is what it is. So this top drawer holds all my most used tools, like my journaling pens, my glues, my perfect layers rulers, my grid rulers, and just several scissors, tweezers, I don't know, all the main stuff. These are a couple of dishes back here that just hold, there's just some baby powder in there that I dip my finger in and take the stickiness off of stickers, some embroidery floss, and then my TV remotes. The next drawer down are all of my different glues and foam squares, glue dots. Then I've got date stamps. This is also a date stamp. And then these are just various inks in blacks, browns, and grays that I use to ink the edges of my projects. The next drawer are more tools. So we've got pattern scissors. Those are the mini scallop and mini pinking shears by Fiskars, and then the old school ones. And then just all different kinds of hole punches. These are staplers, mini staples, and refills. And then, of course, my crocodile. The bottom drawer just holds some more essentials like thread. My sewing machine is over there, so these are all the different colors of thread I have. I keep my sewing machine loaded with white, but if I need to switch it to a color, they're all just right here. cables and baby wipes for stamping, and then just a little dustpan to clean up. Under here is my garbage can. I also have a stool that I keep in between these two cabinets. I just pull that out if I'm doing videos, process videos, and I can hop up on it and make sure my layout's framed and all that before I start filming. On top of these cupboards, I have some more trimmers that I pull out and use for the videos or just as I'm working. And then, as I said, these cupboards just hold, or these drawers just hold current supplies. So here's some Cartabella Rockabye that I'm working with lately. And then this side is just, you know, more Echo Park, and, you know, here's some stamps that I've purchased recently that I want to use. Sorry, I'm just moving my chair out of the way. Over here is, oh, that was loud. Over here is a rolling cart that I purchased off of HSN. This is from the Anna Griffin Office Furniture Collection. And what this is a rolling cart with 12 by 12 hanging file folders. It came with a tray that fits on top of here, and it's meant to go on the end of her system to hold tools, but I just removed the tray. I use that for entertaining and other things, but I didn't want the tray on there, number one, so it would fit under my desk, but also so that I could access my paper scraps from the top as I'm working. So these just organize all of my larger paper scraps in rainbow order, so red, orange, yellow, all that. And that just fits right under here. So while I'm under here, I might as well just continue around. There's my ugly computer tower and cables, just ignore that. And then under here is another rolling cart that I have various things in. So this top shelf holds all my crochet twines that I use to tie buttons and use on my layouts. I use that a lot. Just some cute finger bowls that I picked up at Tuesday morning. And then down here I keep my banner punch board because I like to use this to notch the ends of things. And then this is just a little photo box with all of my little small LG printer and the paper that goes with that. That I usually take traveling to do journaling and stuff like that. So that's just kind of tucked under here, utilizing that odd space. Over here, around here, I have a drawer that just holds a bunch of notepads and like chapstick and breath mints and lotion, just stuff to use throughout the day. And then under here, my husband has wired my printer through the wall, and then my regular laser printer is just hidden under here. Up on top, you can see I have my sewing machine. I have my pedal just located in this little bin. There's also some extra things like my point and shoot camera and some things from my trip recently that I need to put away. This right here is just a bunch of Stampin' Up! Catalogs and some white cardstock that I just keep here because I grab it real quick to map photos. Moving around the top of my desk, I have this little container that just holds random notes and reminders. My current layouts that I've completed, I just kind of stack here and display them and then put them away in my albums as I get more. This is a little recollections holder that just holds some pens and scissors and things, and then a couple of notepads that I use to keep track of my supplies as I'm working, so I can list those as I blog. I have a phone back here, and then my computer. Then behind my computer on the left side is my Epson PictureMate photo printer. This is my very favorite printer to use for pictures. I also have a Canon Pixma that I use for larger color printouts, but I mostly use this for photos. I have this little drawer unit. There's two of them that I purchased at TJ Maxx, and this just keeps my overflow journaling pens like back up, you know, as I want more. And then this has like a bunch of like, I don't know, my newest ink pads, all my juiciest ones that I use for stamping on my projects. So the ones back there in my drawer are a little older and more worn out, and I just use them to ink the edges of my pictures, and then the juicier ones go here that are easily accessible as I work on projects. On top of that, I have my silhouette machine. My older one fit on that perfect, but the bigger one just kind of hangs off a little bit. It's okay, it doesn't bother me too much. When I'm ready to use my silhouette, I just pull it down and place it on my desk right here, and I kind of run it at a diagonal, and the mat runs back and forth right here. It's perfect because it's right by my computer where I'm designing and also by my project where I'm designing. Back here I just have some catch-all dishes that just have lots of random things in it, my reader glasses and other stuff. And then here's just a tool caddy that holds my ATG gun, some scrapers and spatulas for my silhouette machine, various journaling pens and scissors. These scissors out here, my kids are welcome to use. The ones in my drawers, they're hidden away so that they don't use them. They're my nicer ones. Up here on top are just all my cabinets, and I'll go through these quickly. This first and second shelves hold idea books and sketchbooks and just things I've collected over the year, just inspiration type books. And then on the very top is some ink cartridges for my color printers, and these are empty except for the top one has some 4x6 photo paper in there. The cabinet above my computer just holds all my ugly computer stuff. So my Canon Pixma printer. This I use, my laser printer is just for everyday printing. This is an inkjet printer, so I use that for larger color print-offs, and then I also use it for my journaling strips. I find if I do journaling strips on the laser printer, the lettering flakes off after a while. The inkjet prints a lot better. This is just extra photo paper and cardstock and things like that. This is all the boring like old CDs and manuals. Up here I keep a couple these are like reference binders that I've made. Let me pull one down. One is for spray inks and washi tape. I'll actually pull both of them down and show them to you really quickly. So here, this is old. I used to be on a design team called Sugar Dumplin', and I used some sassafras paper to put on it, but it's got my Copic markers. Here's all my washi tape samples. I just place them on clear transparency so that I can lay them on my project and see how they look with the paper showing through. And then I also have my spray ink samples in here. And the ones with the flags on them I've actually gotten rid of. I've purged, so I need to pull those out and reorganize them. But I made these so that if I need to sprinkle some mist on a project, I don't have to test it first. I already know what the color is going to look like. Let's see if I can get that back in there. This other binder is for my Cuddlebug folders, and I have shown this online before. It's just a bunch of baseball card holders, and I've written the name of the embossing folder, and then I've done a little sample and just tucked it in there. You can see I have quite an obsession with collecting embossing folders, and I will show you where those are stored a bit later. But this is really helpful to just see them before I pull them out. The very top are just some older work binders and things where I've kept track of ideas and calendars that I've done in the past, and I just hung on to them in case I ever need to reference them in the future. And then this container just holds some memorabilia like newspapers and things from the days my kids were born. And this cupboard holds a lot of supplies I don't use very often, and also a lot of planning supplies. So these three are my planners that I use every day. There's my everyday personal planner, my blog planner, and then this is kind of a bullet kind of daily planner where I write what I do every day. This is just to refer for project life pages in the future. These are my date and phrase stamps. That's a like a speaker that I thought was fun, but I don't use it very often. My old punches from way back in the day, I'm just sentimental about them and have hung on to them. Then these are all the flowers I own. I don't use flowers very much. I used to own a lot more, but I just kept my favorites and then got rid of the rest. And then this is my microphone for doing voiceovers on my process videos. Above there are more planning and ideas supplies. So my bullet journals, just some free flow notebooks where I just write ideas, some older planners and lists and things, just some ideas. And then the very top has some magazine holders, and inside those are all the magazines I was ever published in, Creating Keepsakes and Scrapbooks, etc. And then I was in Cricut a lot when I used to work for Cricut. So I've hung on to those, and I've purged the rest of the magazines. I kind of wish I hung on to more of them, but at least I hung on to the ones that I was in, so that's good. Over here is another glass cabinet, and here I have put a lot of supplies that I use more frequently that are more generic. So these containers hold medals and all my clips that I've collected, as well as like photo corners. These are my enamel dots and my gems and pearls. So all the packages of those. So if I need some enamel dots, I just pull this container down and flip through. This is a container that holds all my flair. These are a bunch of jars of ribbon scraps. I have another place where I store my ribbon rolls, but these are just the lengths of ribbon. Behind there are just some more random supplies like a jar of binder rings and a ribbon iron from Pebbles from way back in the day, a ribbon bow maker, just kind of some tools that go along with that, but that I don't pull down very often. These white boxes up here just hold a bunch of adhesive, all different kinds. So liquid adhesives, tape adhesives, glue dots, and foam squares. I tend to buy my adhesive in bulk, either at warehouse sales or online when there's sales, and then I just store them up there and pull them down when I need more. Up there are some embellishments that I don't use very often, but I don't want to get rid of yet. One is full of stick pins from My Mind's Eye and Jenny Bolin. And then the other one is full of clothespins and binder clips. We're now going to go into these cupboards, these really tall cupboards. You saw the ones that had all the drawers right behind my desk, so that's where we are here. And I just have more paper and supplies. So on the left-hand side, I have all of my Cricut mats and a scoring board. And then I have some embellishments stored by theme. So I love stickers. They're one of my favorite things to collect. And if they're generic, I store them by color in these bins. I'll show that to you in a second. But if they're more thematic, they go in here. So I've got boys and girls, home and family, summer and travel, critters and food. And then up here I have an iris container just full of all sequins. And down here are my circle cutters and punch it like that's a planner punch and things like that. So I'll just give you a quick peek in there. You remember the Provocraft one? Yep, I still love and use it. That's in there. Well, no, I can't shove it because. And then if I need a sticker with a critter on it, those are all there. So that's just a quick look at that. Up here, I've got some art bin containers. These two hold 6x6 papers. This one are 6x6 paper pads that are intact. And these ones I have are loose papers. So the ones that we're getting down, and then I've organized them in rainbow order. So if I ever need some for die cutting, they're just right here and easy to access. This is one of those containers that I collect stickers and embellishments, and I've organized them by color families. So this one holds the brights and pastels. This is just a little sketchbook that I've tucked on the side. Up here is where I store all of my plastics, all of my sheet protectors for my pocket style scrapbooking, some extra albums, and then just some extra Felicity Jane boxes that I use for organizing or shipping or whatever. More extra albums and boxes on the top over here. This one holds a current Felicity Jane kit. And then here are some more of those embellishments. This one holds hearts and flowers, and this one holds fall and Halloween embellishments. And that way, when I'm working on those types of projects, I can just bring down the whole bin and mix things together. This is just a binder full of like magazine articles that I saved from old magazines and sketch printouts and things like that. Right here on the top, I have some label stickers that I've printed and cut on my silhouette. So I have just a couple of containers of those. And then I have these washi tape holders from Totally Tiffany. I love these because this cabinet's pretty deep and I needed a way to store my washi tape, and this just makes good use of that depth, but also allows me to pull out just a small amount and grab what I need in the color families that I need. Over here are more of those art bins of stickers and embellishments organized by color. So we've got the primary and the neutrals. Let me pull one of those out just so you can see what it looks like. This might be hard to do one-handed. So I like these bins because they're about, you know, 6 inches tall or so. The 6-inch high stickers fit in there, and so I can lay everything on its side and then I can just flip through. So it really just has randomness in here. Just things that I've loved and collected and haven't used. And so if I need something in the primaries, I can come and search through here and find what I need. I go through these often, but I love stickers, so I have a hard time getting rid of things. Okay. Oh, I need to go slower. I hope I'm not making you sick. Okay, so then there's all these drawers below, and we'll go through these one at a time. After I work with a kit or with a certain package of products, die cuts or something, and I have a few left, I separate them out into color families, and that's so I can find them for future projects. And so there's just mostly journaling spots and labels are in here, some envelopes and things like that. So that's what that is in there. There's also, I keep my adhesive photo corners in the front right here. The next drawer down on this side are more pearls and gems, just the smaller packages that are shorter. So back in the day when those are popular, I bought like one of every color. So those are in here, love those. And then I've got some Project Life cards over here. These are just random ones in all different colors. So those are there. On this side are my wood veneers and my scripty words. So this started as all wood veneers. They're just a bunch in here. And cork and pieces like that. But because so many of them are words, I started putting my words in here as well. So I've got my acrylic words and just things like that that I picked up. I need to go through that. Okay, below here are all my brads and eyelets. I have this little kitchen scooper thing that I kind of use to you know, dump them out and look through. Some of these are stickers that aren't actually brads and eyelets, but they reminded me of brads and eyelets, so I've tucked them in here because that's how I would reach for them. They're just in these little dollar store, you know, lunch containers, and I've separated them by color. I'll use brads, you know, with the collection that come with my design team kits, and then anything that's left over, I just separate into color families. This side has just all of the rest of my Project Life cards. There's a few on top that I need to put away. They're mostly separated by color, so I can use them as journaling blocks, but they're also separated by core kits. Anytime I buy a core kit, I give half of it away right away. So I still have too many. I don't think I'll ever get through these. I need to go through them again and figure out what I really do want to keep and what I really will use. But for now, they're just in here. The next drawer down it starts into my punches. The rest of the drawers are punches and tools. So this one here are all my circle punches. I've also thrown in here these photo crops by Simple Stories. I've got the circle ones and the square ones, and I love these. I use these a lot, and I actually went ahead and made my own sizes for, you know, additional sizes, and I just keep them all on this ring and pull them out. Across from the circles are all the scallop circles and pink circles. I tend to use these together and the most, so they're on top. There's also some corner rounder punches in this side. The next one down are flags and pennants, and then my favorite edging punches. So notebook punches and scallop punches. This side has all the hearts and stars. So you can see that the punches that I use the most are in the top drawers, and then as we move down, they're the ones that I don't use as often. Right here are all the tags and tabs and labels, things like that. Across from that one are the rest of my edging border and edge punchers that I've collected over the years. I've gotten rid of some of those too. I tried to keep the ones that are the most generic and the most useful. And then down here I have all my flowers and butterflies and leaves. And then this bottom container or bottom drawer are the seasonal punches that I don't use as often. So snowflakes, and then, you know, my little extra scissors, my paper crimper. That's really old, but I just gotta hang on to it. And then these are the rest of my scraps. These are the short scraps, and I kept them here because they're great to use with all these punches. So if I need a couple hearts, I can just find a red or a pink, or if I need a couple leaves, I just grab a green that will work. And that way I'm not punching into a big scrap that I could use for a layer, and I'm just utilizing these little pieces. I go through these often because I get them often, and I just keep the most useful colors. Okay, so that is this cabinet area.